This is a multi-part series on different manifestation myths out there and some of the most common misinformation or misunderstandings regarding applying the law of attraction, manifestation, law of assumption, Neville Goddard's teachings. And I'm going to dive deep into the first one, or the most common one that I see, which is that you need to affirm all day long. Of course, affirmations can be useful depending on how you use them. But I think the most common misconception is that you have to affirm what you want to see in the 3D when it's not even here, and you're constantly checking to see if your manifestation has been happening. For me, this is actually completely counter-effective, and if anything, it will kind of work against your own manifestation goals. Of course, some people have said that, affirming is kind of a self-soothing technique for people with, anxiety and who are very easily affected by stimuli in the environment. So they have to regulate their nervous system. And this is something that I think the teacher, the manifestation, or actually he calls himself a mindset coach, but this is what I would say Dylan James talks a lot about. If you want to check out Dylan James, he has a YouTube channel, and he is one of the, I would say, best examples of using affirmations as a form of subconscious programming. And this is really effective if you have really deeply held beliefs that are against your goals, that are working against your goals. So, for example, if you are someone who has never had a healthy romantic relationship in your life, or if you've been with people who just betrayed your trust and you have ideas about the opposite sex, then you might not even realize that you're acting out those beliefs. And a lot of times when you actually examine those beliefs, you'll realize that there is no foundation in fact. And for some people, that is enough. There's a spiritual teacher called Daryl who channels Bashar, and he says that once you realize that the belief that you've held is false, you can drop it. So for some people, it's as simple as that. But for others, especially if they've held that belief for years, for some people, it could even be decades, then it's going to be really hard to kind of go past it. So what Dylan James suggests is that you can listen to these nighttime affirmations, because when you listen to them at night, these affirmations actually enter your subconscious mind. For me, this has been super helpful. One of my favorite ones of his, and you can just, again, check out his YouTube channel, is the I am the best affirmations, which I use sometimes even for my naps. And basically what happens is that as they play in the background, it really does kind of go into your subconscious. And when I wake up, I feel much lighter. So I feel like I am able to get to whatever I want to do that day without all the otherwise limiting beliefs that I didn't even realize that I had. So in this case, using affirmations to tackle subconscious limiting beliefs is effective. What isn't effective is affirming all day long, especially with things like my SP's, whatever his name is or her name, is in love with me. My SP is obsessed with me. My SP can't stop thinking about me, because in the process of actually affirming those statements, you subconsciously become obsessed with your SP when it really could have been much easier and much more effortless. I would argue that becoming so obsessed with your SP and putting him or her on a pedestal also works against your manifestation goals. A lot of times, for me, manifestation is very easy and effortless, almost like I forgot about it. And it's so crazy that I remember I was once really interested in this person, and I actually stopped thinking about him and became really absorbed in my own hobbies and my own life. And it was so funny because the second that I stopped thinking about him, literally I couldn't even remember what his name was for a second. That was when I received a text from him. And keep in mind, this person was someone who was just very inconsistent from the beginning. So I had tried to get in touch with him, tried to meet up with him for the longest time. And it was really the second, literally the second, where I just made him so unimportant. And that he didn't even register in my mind, that he, out of his own accord, decided to reach out to me and was determined to set a date to meet up